is just about 3:30 along Richmond Street. While there is no sign of protesters as yet, there is a very heavy police presence. A little higher up Richmond Street, they were members of the riot squad. And I suppose we will see how things unfold later on in the day once protest action begins and there is more gathering.
Kaia Sealy has denied ever touching or firing a weapon. She said in a statement, "I have never held a gun in my life." She also said she heard about the arrest warrant against her, including manslaughter, on the news and not through the police. If the police service has proof that Kaia Sealy shot at 3 officers, they should bring forth that proof, because slowly, every day, people are losing faith in the police service. Because if the police could brazenly set up a woman who was shot and paralyzed in a police shooting and cover it up by blaming her, we really have a problem in this country. Y'all go let me know what y'all think about this story.
Prime Minister Kamala Bissau is weighing in on the growing public debate surrounding the DPP's instruction to charge Kaia Sealy with manslaughter following the police-involved shooting death of Joshua Samaru, her common-law husband. Responding to questions from the Express newspaper about criticism in some quarters and what she described as the matter being tried in the court of public opinion, the Prime Minister referenced 2 quotations. She said, quote, "The most evil among us always expect the rest of us to live by morals that they don't possess themselves," end quote. She also quoted, "People sleep peacefully in their beds at night only because rough men stand ready to do violence on their behalf," end quote. The Prime Minister did not elaborate further on the active matter but shifted focus to the government's broader legislative agenda following the prorogation of Parliament on Friday. Asked when
what y'all think they're gonna charge the girl with tomorrow? Anyways, let me be quiet so I can get a WASA job.
After 1 is 5. Watch. Warrant issued. Paralyzed Kaia accused of killing Joshua Samaru. But my girl decides to break the silence. Kaia says above, "I am not a gangster." Right now she's in the United States undergoing treatment after being paralyzed after the operation, right? She says she denies ever firing a gun. She denies shooting at police. She denies all allegations linking her to the death of her boyfriend. She's saying here, "Listen, I never hold a gun in my life, right? I'm not no gangster." This girl is in the United States getting treatment and she's literally recalling lying down in the car, wounded, unable to move while they're shooting up the car, and her boyfriend unable to breathe, lying down. This is so traumatic for this young lady, and for them to switch the narrative now to say that they're going to press charges against her. So they were detaining her unlawfully, right? Then all of a sudden, the detainment and the restrictions were lifted before they could actually reach the court. She also states here that investigators were not giving her legal team information, even though she was cooperating with the police. Her devices were seized after the accident, all her phones, everything. But the devices were eventually returned after legal action was initiated. But it doesn't stop there. Homegirl was blindsided. She found out about these allegations on the media. Not through a phone call, not through formal correspondence, or even through her lawyer, through the social media. That is messy. I'll end her version of the story here. She's saying that neither she nor Joshua had any intentions of any sort of violence on that date. They were literally on their way to pick up their daughter from school. She says, "Listen, the truth about what really went down that day will come out. So we wait for it." Trust me, it's have different parts of the story. I'll come in with the next one next.
What we are seeing in Trinidad and Tobago today, our democracy is being eroded by the day.
Every day.
And what I'm saying today, we have a pickup side governing this country called Trinidad and Tobago. And today, I want to say the organizers for Justice for Kaia, a group of businessmen reached out to me, some from America. They keep calling me up there yesterday and this morning, and they asked me for us to fund a GoFundMe fund account.
Yeah.
And for me to hire a King Council
Yeah.
to represent Kaia Sealy. And one of the things they tell me, they say, Mr. Eversley,
Yeah.
the state have the resources and Kaia do not have the resources
Yeah.
to get a professional lawyer.
Yeah.
And they want some of the best lawyers
Yeah.
to fight on Kaia behalf.
Yeah. Yep.
And I want to say to Kaia committee today,
Money is
I
here.
will leave you all with my number. And we must act on this immediately.
Yeah.
So that we can have a top of the line King Council to represent Kaia and her family with this matter where it's concerned. And I must say, Trinidad and Tobago today, are we seeing our country now becoming a police state?
Yes. Yes.
Are we seeing our country becoming a police state?
A
Are we
dictatorship.
seeing that we are being victimized for our democracy and standing up for our rights?
Yeah.
Well, we have to stand up and fight against the evil forces that
Yeah.
we are seeing taking
place
place
society
today
on
operating in our country.
Yeah.
So we are going to form this GoFundMe fund account in the name of Kaia. And they said they're going to make sure a King Council come and represent Kaia Sealy. Thank you.
Y'all, I don't know if they think we are in the Men in Black movie. You remember the Men in Black movie? Whenever a situation happens, if somebody really see an alien and they want you to forget about it, Will Smith, and they will flash the flash in your eyes or whatever for you to forget all that happened, right? This situation with Kaia Sealy and Joshua Samaru, it almost feel like that is what's going on with the authorities. Like they're putting little thing out there, gangster Barbie, and she's a gangster Barbie, and his family now switching and believing the allegations. Like they're putting little things like they want us to forget about what it is we actually saw in the video, in the CCTV footage. We still saw a man who was surrendering getting shot up at. It almost feel like they want to just flash whatever in our face and say like, oh, forget that now, forget what let's see in the video. She's a gangster Barbie. You understand? So that's why we had to take them out. It almost feel like that's the situation. Like all they really, and it's so annoying, it's like all they really take the public or the citizens of Trinidad and Tobago for a fool. We saw where excessive force was done at the scene. They used excessive force. They shot someone that actually surrendered. They put their hands up in the air with no pew pew, nothing of the sort in their hands, and you all still shut them up. And it almost feel like all they just want us to forget about what it is we saw. We can't forget about what it is we saw, and we don't care. The only people who care about the beginning, and she's a gangster Barbie, is certain supporters of the you know who. You understand me? We saw what we saw.
Young lady, please. Take your hands off of the young lady, please. Are you lady, please? Lady, please. Take your hands off the young lady.
Those them big riot they are showing full blood. Pittsburgh protest, here today.
Kaia Sealy being charged for her boyfriend's murder. She's charged with manslaughter, also charges against shooting the police. Was that shocking to you? What do you think?
Very much shocking. Very, very much shocking. As a citizen, we would have seen the video and we would have arrived at certain conclusions based on the videos that we have seen. And the decision by the Director of Public Prosecutions on this matter to prosecute Sealy was quite shocking to me. And the manner in which it was handled by the Trinidad and Tobago Police Service, where yesterday morning the Commissioner was reportedly telling the country that charges were laid, and then in a subsequent release, the country was told that the charges were against Ms. Sealy. And then my understanding this morning is that another release was put out where the DPP advised for prosecutions to take place against police officers who reportedly would have given false statements. The Commissioner of Police has a lot of questions to answer in the manner in which this matter is being dealt with and in the way in which information is being provided to the population. All I am prepared to say at this point in time is that public confidence in the Trinidad and Tobago Police Service and institutions that were placed to protect the citizens are at an all-time low. I cannot recall confidence in the public service being at this low in the history of Trinidad and Tobago. The Commissioner of Police has a lot to answer, and all I am prepared to say is that a lot of work has to be done from now to rebuild public confidence in the Trinidad and Tobago Police Service. But at this point in time, we are in a very, very bad place, with crime continuing to dominate the national agenda, and with the public no longer having confidence in the Trinidad and Tobago Police Service based on the manner in which information is being treated, based on the manner in which citizens are being treated. This today is a really dark time in this country, and we have a lot to do to repair the damage that has been done to independent institutions in this country.
Thoughts on the...
Shame on the TTPS!
Shame on the TTPS!
Guevara must go!
Guevara must go!
Guevara must go!
Guevara must go!
Alexander must go!
Alexander must go!
Alexander must go!
Alexander must go!
Shame on the TTPS!
Shame on the TTPS!
Shame on the TTPS!
Shame on the TTPS!
Alexander must go!
Alexander must go!
Alexander must go!
Alexander must go!
We have reached a critical breaking point in this country. Because I know the mood throughout the country right now is widespread outrage, to say the least. The police service have once again, I can't even say eroded the public trust, the little hope and faith we had in them. I can't even say that erode it, run it down to the ground, lower than the white line in the road, it is gone. And I would also like to say to the media houses who are supposed to be the guardians of the truth and the voice of the people who are supposed to be pressing on those in these positions to uphold their responsibilities to the citizens of this nation. Some of them have compromised their integrity, leaving the citizens feeling more manipulated than informed. So the first thing we would like to address, which I know questions on everybody's mind, with regard to the false news released 6 o'clock in the morning as the first thing citizens are about to see to dishearten them from coming out and showing up today for what they know are right. So let me be the first to say that the senior Mr. Samaru denying all allegations made in that article of saying any claims against Kaia being responsible for Joshua's death. Such interview and such words were never said by Mr. Samaru, but was somehow publicized by Guardian Media and released on social media for everybody to see. Why is that? Why on the day when the nation decide they're going to come out for what we know is more than an injustice? Why are we releasing false information once again to dissuade the people from coming out to fight for what is right? Why are we doing this? No sense of humility, no sense of humanity, no sense of self, no sense of conscientiousness, no sense. That is all this is making right now. After 4 months of waiting and grappling and hoping that you know what, some sort of something is going to come out of this. You're more than insulting the nation's intelligence right now. You're basically spitting in my face and saying, we don't care. We don't care. Why it is my friend who trying her best to recuperate from the injury she have now, she still cannot stand, cannot do a lot of things for herself. Have to find out about these charges just like the rest of us on social media. Not through appropriate or legal channels, through social media. Why are we not being, my people, please wake up and be logical.
For manslaughter towards her boyfriend Joshua Samaru.
As a citizen of Trinidad and Tobago, I think I join everybody else with expressing some shock. I did look at the press conference of the Commissioner of Police yesterday. It was a pretty long press conference, and at no time did I suspect that that would have been the turn of events. So as I say, I'm shocked just as everybody else. But I form no conclusion. I'm not often very quick to jump to conclusions. I respect the independence that the Director of Public Prosecutions has. And it is obvious that the DPP is possessed of facts that we in the public are not. That much is clear. I have absolutely no reason to suspect that the DPP is not doing or is not advising the police in accordance with the facts as he knows it or as his office knows it. And therefore, I am very reluctant to bring the office of the DPP into any kind of scrutiny or disrepute. The fact remains that the law is the law. The DPP is the prosecutorial arm of the state, and the DPP is bound in law to advise the police to take prosecutions as the evidence suggests that they must unfold. Notwithstanding, as I would always say, communication is key. I think it is absolutely important for either the more likely and more appropriately the police at this point in time, the Commissioner of Police perhaps, or through its media unit or whatever it is, have a few words to say to the members of the public. This is a serious matter of public interest. I mean, it is a police-involved shooting, number one. A man is dead, a woman is paralyzed, and now you have that woman being charged with serious offenses. It would seem to me an unlawful killing charge is on the books in addition to the shooting at the police charges. So something should be said to the population.
Do you have confidence in the police commissioner?
Listen, the Commissioner of Police is going to be judged on the feeling of safety. It is one thing to judge the Commissioner of Police's his efficacy insofar as the numbers are concerned, the statistics, but it's an entirely other thing to consider. What is he feeling on the ground of the people? Are you feeling any safer by being told that the crime rate is down or the murder rate is down? I mean, listen, Trinidad and Tobago is not a society of stupid people, you know. That's why I keep saying talk to the people. If the government, including the Commissioner of Police, simply is straightforward with the people in Trinidad and Tobago, they're going to have a lot easier time, you know. Look at this landmark issue thing. On Tuesday,
That he's being charged.
That's a question you would have to propose to the DPP and the TTPS. They are the people who would have brought charges. And anything I would say is speculation. So I think it's better posed for them. And all the so-called pundits who want to offer their submissions, they don't know. You would have to wait for the DPP to really explain.
Right. A lot of people have expressed distrust then in the police from this. Do you think that's reasonable or?
You know, distrust, suspicion is all part of the process. You know, and what we have to do is go down into the granular level and see why this was done and what happened. You know, because sometimes you find out circumstances that you never imagined that could take place. And I think we have to be fair to the TTPS and the work that our officers do. and most of them work with the intent to make us safer and to serve us. So, we have to be fair to them and let the process take its course.
Greetings, the Republic of Trinidad and Tobago, as we are gathered here today to condemn the unprecedented charge that the Commissioner of Police has brought against Kaia. We stand in solidarity under Article 12 of Human Rights. We have now triggered 150 million youths locally, regionally, and internationally to sign a petition to dismiss the Commissioner of Police, to dismiss the Minister of Homeland and Roger Alexander with full authority. That's what we come out here to do. Take a look. We stand in solidarity under the Summary Act of Article 5101. I am out here. What is my purpose? What is my destiny? To cut and clear the Commissioner, rip and tear Roger Alexander, and trample down the executives' powers that be, that is oppressing the people of Trinidad and Tobago. How much more Kaia we will have in Trinidad and Tobago? Numerous youths face the same position, but we have an honorable opportunity to highlight this situation. How much killing has the corrupted police service sweep under the carpet? We will not let this one sweep under the carpet. If you have to charge Kaia, better if you charge me and bring me in prison. Send the warrant out for me, Commissioner of Police, because my full name is Ibrahim Traore, the representative of the region of Trinidad and Tobago. Kaia, wherever you are in the United States of America, know that under the cut and clear dynasty, we are here to support you, and we have now activated Article 12 to condemn the Commissioner of Police, to condemn Roger Alexander, and to condemn the relevant authorities and the powers that be. I am in process of signing a petition with 150 million youths to dismantle the puppet system. Yes, I have heard the people cry, and I will not stay silent. We will not stay silent. Come out, people, and support. None of the report that the police service has issued is real. Let's be real, because take a look here. Take a look. Don't shoot. I surrender. On the behalf of Kaia and the Samaru family, we salute you. And we say, people of Trinidad and Tobago, come out as we are about to bring this system right down with full authority. Send that to Kaia to know that we are here for she.
Why, for 3 months after the incident, you then brought it to the attention of herself and her attorney that, oh, by the way, we found a firearm. Why wasn't she arrested? If it is that police officers knew that someone shot at you, by right, you can have that person incarcerated indefinitely during a state of emergency.
Now, Mr. Griffith, firstly, what was your immediate reaction to the decision to charge Kaia Sealy with manslaughter in Joshua Samaru's death?
I wasn't surprised. I think about 2 or 3 months ago on this station, I actually said that that is going to be the next step by those certain elements in the police service. There was a video footage that you would have seen on WASN where I said, based on this, if it is that I know the direction that they will go, the next thing you will hear is in a few months' time, you will hear that she had a firearm. And so said, so done. And I am not here to state that the police lied or that Ms. Sealy is innocent or guilty. I am just speaking about the facts. The facts are, however, that the DPP people, you cannot and should not criticize the DPP. The DPP is only making decisions based on what is presented to him. So if it is, for example, something is padded, something is irregular, something is accurate, he's going to take what has been given to him. He's not an investigator. He's not on a fact-finding mission. He's not here to read the room, to make the politically correct statement. That is not his job. Having said that, the red flags that have been raised, they're astronomical It starts with the first comment made on the first day when this happened, when the Commissioner of Police foolishly said that he saw no reason for any action to be taken on these officers, which is in direct contrast to international best practice. I had a similar situation of shooting in Mouvoir when I was Commissioner, and all 18 police officers were immediately suspended from day one. It's not about right or wrong. It's not about targeting them and accusing them of being guilty. You have to remove them away from the situation to ensure that the situation doesn't become volatile, or where there's some instability of the officers after what they have done until the investigation has been completed. And that was not done. He then went and foolishly said, you all don't know what happened a few minutes before. It shows his ignorance in understanding law enforcement at a senior level. Somebody could use a bazooka and 5 hand grenades at law enforcement. If a few moments later on the spot, when it is you confront the individuals, they are not a threat, you cannot speak about what happened before. We then heard the Minister of Homeland Security that make probably the dumbest statement ever, other than Philip Alexander stating about Venezuela being nuked by India, when Roger Alexander said he wants to lay charges on people if they have their CCTVs in their homes and it is used on social media to give information to the public. It shows that there's a fear factor of utilizing the technology that is available, which goes to the point that, again, I had 1,200 body cameras. If these body cameras had they been used, it could have very well cleared the police of them being found guilty right now in the court of public perception, or even pinpointed that the police officers, they were wrong and there was excessive use of force. We then went on to the situation where we could ask the question, why wasn't no gunpowder residue testing done on the hand of the suspect? Why would her fingerprints tested to have it matched with the alleged firearm? Why for 6 days when she was in the hospital you never spoke to her about the firearm? Why for 3 months after the incident you then brought it to the attention of herself and her attorney that, oh, by the way, we found a firearm? Why wasn't she arrested? If it is that police officers knew that someone shot at you, by right, you can have that person incarcerated indefinitely during a state of emergency without the charge being laid. So many people are being charged and incarcerated indefinitely during the SOE for based on intelligence. You have a situation where you claim that a woman will have shot at you and you allowed her to leave. Why it is that you allowed her to leave the country? And then when you looked at the police officers and how they performed in that scenario, if it is that there is a claim that persons are shooting at you, you cannot in any way be so ignorant in your basic training in law enforcement to put yourself open and to make yourself a bigger target. If it is that people were shooting at you, you then saw a police officer actually put in his assault weapon to the side. I don't know whether it was a stoppage or the clip was emptied, and then took out another weapon several seconds after the ceasefire, which is excessive use of force. And again, so we can go on and on with all of these different things. We can look at how the shot was, where it is her defense attorneys are stating that her shots would have been in her back. That is conducive of someone who is crouching and hiding from cover under the dashboard of a vehicle rather than turning her face for open confrontation. And let me finally add, the desperation by some, and that's what I realized I had to intervene, because I realized that certain people, they were lying to the country, because there was the video footage that went in slow motion and it showed the glass, the fragmentation of the mirror of the window, the back window, shooting outward. And you're hearing someone and you know, this is when it is you know about bad police. Well-spoken, disciplined, tough, and very arrogant. So that's some police officer, and if you look here, you will see that the glass was coming out. And the glass coming out, it means that it is that the shot came from the inside. That is a lie. That I have been, as a commissioner, I meant numerous shootings in vehicles, shootings from the outside. The fragmentation based on the shockwaves it will shatter outside and inside, and vice versa. So let us remove that from the equation. With all of these things, all that is required is for the Commissioner of Police to be able to clarify these matters. And he may very well have good justification in these things, but you cannot let all of these questions remain unanswered.
Hi, the good people of TNT. So we are following up on this story of Kaia Sealy and Samaru Joshua. So guys, there is a latest update. I've been following up on this story, and that is why I have to wait for like a couple of days in order to get really clarity on the story. So this time around, the people have come out to the street, the leaders have come out to speak, even the Prime Minister herself has come out to speak. So what are all these people saying? Remember, when this incident happened earlier this year, the guy Samaru had actually surrendered to the police, meaning that he was not a threat at all to the police, and there was no need of the police shooting at him, and at the end of the day ending up unaliving him. On the other hand, the girlfriend has been charged with the murder of the late boyfriend, and it is very unfair. So by the time the charges were actually reported, and it was it was said that she's the one that was involved, you know what happened? Of course, during that incident, she got hurt, like really, really bad, and she was paralyzed, and she had to go to America. Thank God, she's also a citizen of America. So she went to America for treatment purposes, and she's still on treatment. So I don't understand why the government had to put the blame on her. I'm just trying to ask myself, is it because she is currently in America, and that's why they're putting the blame on her? The police are washing their hands, they don't want to get involved, and yet they're the ones that pulled the trigger. So a lot of mixed reactions is being experienced in Trinidad and Tobago at the moment, because number one, you see, if after these reports came out, and if the people of Trinidad and Tobago keeps quiet, you know, there is this possibility that next time the same thing could happen, and it could be one of them. And I think that's why they have come out in large numbers to protest against police brutality in Trinidad and Tobago. They want fairness on this case, and honestly speaking, I can tell you that it really does make sense, because at the end of the day, if they keep quiet, you know, if they are silent on this matter, it will mean that it can happen next time, and it could be any of them. So it's a very delicate matter in TNT that needs to be followed up, and also leaders, you can see they have come out and spoken about it, and none of them is like heavily condemning the situation. They are trying to be neutral on the case. I don't know what they fear. You see, politicians are normally linked to corruption cases and so many other cases, so probably maybe they feel like if they come against the government like really hard, some cases will be started by the DPP, because all of them are like, we are waiting for the investigations, and you know, the DPP knows what they're doing. They're just trying to be neutral here and there, and I cannot at all see any leader that is leaning towards the ordinary people of Trinidad and Tobago. Another thing is that the Prime Minister came out, and instead of talking about the investigation matters will be relooked at, since we also the CCTV footage and all that, you see, she has come out and she is actually in the side of the police officers, and you'll actually wonder, like, what the hell, like, is that supposed to be done by a leader, like the highest office in the land? You see, leaders are not even supposed to comment about such matters. They should just keep quiet and tell them in silence to look at the matter, to work, and you know, get to know the truth, like what is really happening. So, my good people, so much is being done, so much is being said. I understand currently, as I speak, there is a lot of protests in Port of Spain, and already three activists, those that were in the front line, have already been arrested, and it's going to keep on going on. Honestly speaking, people are still going to go to the street to protest against it, because you never know about the next time. So Kaia finally responded to the reports, to the accusations of being the unaliver. And honestly, she said that, like, she in all her life, she has never been a gangster. In all her life, she has never ever held a gun on her hand. And you know, okay, I don't know what you think about that, guys, because they always say this. I mean, every story has two sides of it. Like, there is always two sides to to a story, you have to look at part A, part B, and come to a judgment. So in this case, you see, we have all seen this CCTV footage that is in the internet, that is very, very popular among the TNT people, and it clearly shows it's the police that pulled the trigger. And this guy, of course, you can clearly see, like, he was running away from the police. And even if it's you, if you are being if the police wants you, what's the first thing that you'll do? You'll panic, right? And then you'll run away. And that's something very natural to every human being. If you feel any danger, you will find yourself running away. And that is it with people,